Welcome everyone to a journey into the fascinating world of Filipino mythology. Before the arrival of Spanish colonization, the Philippines was a land rich with ancient beliefs and stories passed down through generations. Filipino mythology is a rich and diverse tapestry of legends, deities, and supernatural beings that developed before the arrival of Spanish colonization in the 16th century. It is deeply rooted in the ancient animist beliefs of indigenous Filipinos who worship a variety of gods, spirits, and ancestral entities. At the heart of this mythology is Bathala, the supreme creator god who governs the universe and oversees a vast pantheon of lesser deities. Each of these deities represents a specific aspect of nature, human life, and the spirit world. His name Bathala is derived from the Sanskrit word Batara, which means noble lord, indicating possible Hindu and Buddhist influences in pre-colonial Filipino culture. In pre-colonial Tagalog mythology, Bathala, also known as Bathalang May Kapal or Bathalang May Likha, is regarded as the supreme god and creator of the universe. He is also responsible for creating the earth, the sky, and everything in between. Bathala is described as benevolent god who controls fate and has power over both the physical and spiritual realms. He is often invoked for blessings, good harvest, and protection. But his presence is more abstract compared to the more involved roles of the lesser deities. While Bathala is a powerful and revered deity, he is often considered a distant figure, leaving the management of earthly affairs to the lesser gods and goddesses. Idianale, goddesses of labor and good deeds. Idianale is the Tagalog goddess of hard work and good deeds. Farmers and laborers often called upon her for blessings to ensure fruitful harvest and successful endeavors. As the goddess of labor, she plays a vital role in ensuring that the hard work of human beings is rewarded with prosperity and well-being. Also, she is often depicted with lush greenery and flowers, symbolizing her connection to nature's bounty. Mayari, goddess of moon. Mayari is the beautiful goddess of the moon and is considered one of those Bathala's daughters. According to myth, she once shared equal power with her brother Apolaki, the god of the sun. Mayari is worshipped for her grace, beauty, and as a symbol of peace and harmony. Mayari is the beautiful goddess of the moon, often portrayed with a glowing silver aura. She is sometimes depicted holding a crescent moon or surrounded by the stars. Apolaki, god of the sun and war. Apolaki is the god of the sun and the Tagalog god of war. He is depicted as powerful warrior who brings light and heat to the world. His domain also extends to leadership and military might, and ancient Filipino warriors invoke him for victory in battles. Apocalypse light symbolizes strength, vitality, and resilience. His duality as god of both the sun and the war reflects the importance of both nurturing life and defending it. Tala, goddess of the stars. Tala is a goddess of the stars and is often associated with guiding lost souls in the night sky. She is one of the daughters of Bathala and is sometimes considered the sister of Mayari. Tala's light was believed to help sailors and travelers navigate safely through darkness. She symbolizes hope, direction, and the promise of new beginnings, with her stars lighting the way for those who are lost. Amihan, the North Wind. Amihan is a deity associated with a cool, gentle north wind. In some versions of Filipino mythology, Amihan takes the form of a bird and plays a significant role in the creation of the world. In the story of creation, Amihan was one of the deities who helped free the primordial god Malakas or strong and Maganda or beautiful from the bamboo, bringing forth the first human. Amihan represents the harmonious balance of nature and the interconnectedness of living things. Amihan embodies the power and the freedom of the wind. Anitong Tabu, goddess of wind and rain. Anitong Tabu is the Visayan goddess of the wind and rain. Her moods are often erratic, reflecting the unpredictable nature of the weather in the Philippines. Anitong Tabu could bring life-giving rain to the crops or destructive storms, depending on her disposition. She was worshipped to bring favorable weather and protection from calamities, and offerings were made to appease her temperamental nature. Lakapati, hermaphroditic goddess of fertility. Lakapati is a hermaphroditic deity of fertility, agriculture, and cultivated fields. She is often revered by farmers and fisherfolk for abundant harvests and bountiful catches. Lakapati is a nurturing god, sometimes depicted with both male and female attributes, reflecting the fluidity of gender in ancient Filipino culture. Rituals dedicated to Lakapati would involve offerings of food and drink, seeking her blessings for prosperous farming and fishing seasons. Lakapati represents the bounty of the earth and the importance of agriculture to Filipino life. She embodies the nurturing and life-giving aspects of nature. Dumakulim, god of mountains. Dumakulim is the god of mountains and one of the guardian deities of the land. He is known for his strength and is often depicted as a fierce protector of the forest and the mountain ranges. People living in the mountainous areas would offer sacrifices to the Makalim to ensure safety and success in their travels and hence through the rugged terrain. The Makalim represents the strength and stability of the mountains. Hike, god of the sea. Hike is the Tagalog god of the sea, responsible for its protection and for ensuring the safety of sailors and fishermen. In some regions, he is also known as a Manakabal, a temperamental god who in some version of the myth became angry and vengeful after a rejected love. But despite of his tempestuous nature, Hike is crucial to those who rely on the sea for their livelihoods. Like fishermen would pray to him for calm waters and abundant catches. And now the last of the god and goddesses, which is Satan, god of the underworld. Satan is a Tagalog god of the underworld and death, ruling over the spirits of the dead. In some version of the myth, he is similar to the concept of Satan in Christian beliefs, though Satan is more of a guardian or overseer of the underworld than an embodiment of pure evil. So Satan has four agents or minions, who are responsible for causing illness, discord, and suffering among humans. Satan's role is to maintain the balance between life and death. So the four agents or minion of Satan is Manggagaway, Hukluban, Mangkukulam, Manisilat. Manggagaway, often translated as sorcerer or witch, is known for the ability to inflict harm through curses, spells, and other form of dark magic. They are often depicted as malevolent figures who use their powers to manipulate and control others for their own selfish gain. Their actions can range from causing minor ailments to inflicting serious illnesses and even death. Hukluban, meaning to be subdued or to be controlled, is the agent responsible for inflicting mental and emotional suffering. They are often depicted as shadowy figures who prey on the weak and vulnerable, using their power to manipulate and control their victim's mind. Hukluban can cause feeling of despair, hopelessness, and fear, leading to mental breakdowns and even suicide. Mangkukulam, meaning sorcerer or wizard, is similar to manggagaway in their ability to use magic to cause harm. However, mangkukulam are often associated with more traditional forms with witchcraft, including the use of herbs, potions, and rituals. They are known for their ability to curse individuals or entire communities, causing illness, misfortune, and even death. Manisilat, meaning to break or to destroy, is the agent responsible for disrupting family harmony and causing discord within households. She is often portrayed as a cunning and manipulative figure who uses her powers to sow seeds of doubt, mistrust, and jealousy among family members. Manisilat is known to disguise herself as a beggar or healer to gain access to homes and subtly infuse them with magic, leading to arguments, separation, and ultimately the breakdown of the family unit. So, Satan's four agents represent the darker aspects of human nature, embodying the forces of chaos, discord, and suffering. While their actions are often seen to destructive, they are also believed to play a crucial role in maintaining balance in the universe. And for the last is the conclusion. Filipino mythology is intricate and vibrant system of beliefs that reflects the ancient Filipino worldview, where God, spirits, and nature are deeply interconnected. The mythology embodies not only religious and spiritual practices, but also offers moral lessons, guidance for daily living, and a deeper connection to the natural environment. Despite the introduction of Christianity during Spanish colonization, many of these myths, deities, and spirits continue to influence Filipino culture, folklore, and traditions today. And as we conclude our journey through the realm of Bathala and lesser gods, we gain a deeper appreciation for the rich tapestry of Filipino mythology. These deities and their story offer insights into the ancient Filipino worldview, their connection to nature, and um, their beliefs about the world around them. So, Filipino mythology continues to influence Filipino culture, folklore, and traditions today, reminding us of the importance of um, preserving our heritage and understanding the story that um, shape our identity. So that's it for today. Thank you, and I hope you have learned something about this topic, the Filipino mythology. Thank you so much, guys.